In this video, we will be learning about inverse functions. So inverse functions is denoted by the reading of f to the power of -1 x rather than f of x. And what an inverse function is, it is a reflection of the parent function on the line of y is equal to x. And this can be seen in the graph here, where the line of y is equal to x is drawn in green. The parent function is the red function, and the blue function is the inverse function, as you can see, it is reflected upon the green line. So inverse functions are calculated by taking the parent function and switching the x and y values and then isolating for y once more. And we will be looking at how to do that today. So we will simply be looking at two examples, and the first example we'll be doing is in the function f of x is equal to 3x cubed plus 4. Hold on. 4. So how to do this? So the first thing you need to do is to switch the x and y values. So of course, in this case, the y value would be the f of x. So just to make that a bit clearer, y is equal to 3x cubed plus 4, and now we must switch them. So the y is then now becomes an x, and then it becomes 3y cubed plus 4. So now what we must do is we must isolate the value of y to make it a proper function once more. So the first thing to do would be to bring the y to the other side. So we would turn to 3y cubed is equal to x minus 4. So now we've isolated the term with y in it, and next off we divide both sides by 3 to just be left with y to the power of 3. So then this would become x minus 4 divided by 3. And I'm just going to move up here. Lastly, what you need to do is we cube root the everything. So of course the cube root of y to the power of 3 is simply going to be y, and now we are left with y by itself. And then you cube root the rest of the function, which is x minus 4 divided by 3. And therefore, in conclusion, if f of x is equal to 3x cubed plus 4, then the inverse function, so f to the power of -1x, would be equal to the cube root of x minus 4 divided by 3. And that is simply the first example, and as I stated before, this inverse function would simply be a reflection of the parent function on the axis of y is equal to x. So the second example we'll be looking at is to find the inverse function of if f of x is equal to ln 4x squared plus 3. So again, we replace the f of x with y to make it a bit simpler. So y is equal to ln 4x squared plus 3. And now, of course, the next step is to switch the x and the y. So what this would leave us with is x is equal to ln 4y squared plus 3. Now we must isolate the x once more. So the first step in doing this is to get rid of the ln. And as you know, the way to do this is to put everything to the power of e, because e and ln cancel out. So this would leave us with e to the power of x, and if we put everything in this to the power of e, the ln cancels out. So it'll just leave us with 4y squared plus 3. Okay, so then next we want to have the term with y by itself. So that would be 4y squared is equal to e to the power of x minus 3. And next we will divide all of this by 4 to just be left with y squared. So e to the power of x minus 3 divided by 4. And I'm just going to go up here again. And then we simply square it. So that would be y, or try to square root it, is equal to the square root of e to the power of x minus 3 divided by 4. And this, of course, leaves us with the inverse of the function. So f to the power of negative 1 x is equal to the square root of e to the power of x minus 3 divided by 4. And that is the solution. And once more, this is a reflection on the axis of the line y is equal to x. And yeah, that is how you do inverse functions.